Imagine, for a moment, that the universe is not a silent, indifferent expanse, but a vast, humming symphony. Every star, every breath, every thought you've ever had is a note in this grand composition, and you are not merely a listener. You are an instrument, finely tuned and capable of resonating at frequencies that can bend reality itself. This is not metaphor. This is physics. This is the ancient wisdom whispered by sages, now echoed by quantum science. Everything vibrates. And your vibration, your personal frequency, determines whether life feels like a struggle or a dance, whether doors open effortlessly or remain stubbornly locked. But here is the secret most never grasp. Raising your vibration is not about fleeting moments of joy or temporary highs. It is not about forcing positivity or pretending darkness does not exist. True mastery lies in permanently anchoring yourself in a higher state, where clarity, flow, and synchronicity become your natural rhythm, not just occasional visitors. This is the art of becoming an energy sovereign, one who no longer rises and falls with external tides, but remains unshaken, a lighthouse in the storm of existence. Think of the last time life felt effortless. Perhaps it was a day when ideas came like lightning, when chance encounters felt divinely orchestrated, when your body hummed with vitality and your mind was sharp yet serene. That was not luck. That was alignment. You had, even if only briefly, tuned yourself to a frequency where resistance dissolved, and the universe could move through you unimpeded. The question is, how do we live there? Not as a fleeting guest, but as a permanent inhabitant of that elevated state? The answer lies beyond quick fixes and surface-level rituals. It requires a deep understanding of vibration as the very fabric of your being, your thoughts, emotions, even the silent spaces between them, all pulsing with energy that the universe responds to. This is not mystical abstraction, it is the law of resonance, as immutable as gravity. Just as a tuning fork's vibration will stir another of the same pitch, your energy calls forth matching frequencies from the world around you. Fear attracts fear, love attracts love, chaos resonates with chaos. And peace? Peace is not the absence of noise, it is the presence of a vibration so steady that noise cannot cling to it. Yet here is where so many falter. They raise their vibration in bursts through meditation, nature, or inspiration only to lose it when life strikes its inevitable dissonant chords. The boss criticizes, the heart breaks, the body tires, and suddenly the high vibration crumbles like sand through fingers. But what if you could hold it? What if you could cultivate a frequency so unshakable that no outer storm could lower it? That is the journey we embark on here. Not to chase elevation, but to embody it. This is not about escaping the human experience. It is about transcending the suffering of that experience by mastering the energy that shapes it. The ancients knew this. The Egyptians spoke of Ma'at, the harmony of cosmic order. The yogis taught of Spanda, the divine pulse within all things. Indigenous shamans listened to the song of the earth and adjusted their own spirits to match. And now, science confirms it. Your cells, your atoms, even the space between them, vibrate. The only question left is, what song are you singing? And more importantly, who is the composer? You or the chaos around you? If this resonates, if something in you stirs at the thought of stepping into your full vibrational power, then you are already tuning in. This is not a path for the curious bystander. It is for those ready to remember their true nature, to wield their energy with intention, and to live in a state where miracles are not exceptions, but the natural order of things. If this message speaks to you, let it ripple outward. Like the video if it resonates. Share your thoughts in the comments. What does raising your vibration mean to you? And if you wish to journey deeper into these realms, subscribe. The path continues, and the next step awaits. There exists an invisible architecture to the universe, an intricate latticework of energy and intention that shapes every moment of our existence. To raise your vibration permanently is to become fluent in this hidden language, to understand that every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every word you speak is a brick in the temple of your reality. This is not philosophy, this is physics. The world you experience is not solid, but vibrating a shimmering hologram of energy, responding to your frequency with mathematical precision. Consider the ancient Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is not poetry, but a cosmic blueprint. Your inner world, the storms and silences of your mind, the depth charges of your heart, does not merely influence your outer reality. It creates it. The emotions you nurture become the events you encounter. The thoughts you repeat become the walls or windows of your life. Most people live as if this principle were a metaphor, a pleasant idea to ponder on quiet evenings. But those who awaken treat it as the fundamental law of existence because it is. Vibration operates on 3 interdependent levels, each shaping the other in an endless dance. First, the mental plane where thoughts crystallize into matter. Every mental pattern you sustain emits a frequency, broadcasting signals to the universe like a radio tower. Negative thought loops, worry, self-doubt, criticism, are not just psychological states. They are low-frequency vibrations that attract matching energies. Conversely, thoughts of gratitude, possibility, and trust emit higher frequencies, summoning realities where synchronicity flourishes. The mind is not meant to be a tyrant, but a servant, a tool for focusing energy with precision. Most allow their minds to run wild, a cacophony of unchecked frequencies. The master learns to direct this energy with the same care a composer directs an orchestra. Then, the emotional plane, the bridge between thought and manifestation. Emotions are not fleeting sensations, but concentrated energy in motion. Resentment vibrates at a different frequency than forgiveness. Fear pulses differently than love. The key is not to suppress negative emotions, but to transmute them to alchemize their energy, rather than becoming trapped in their gravity. This is why spiritual bypassing fails. Pretending to feel joy while suppressing anger does not raise your vibration, it fractures it. True elevation comes when you allow emotions to flow through you without letting them define you, when you become the sky, not the storm. Finally, the physical plane where vibration solidifies into form. Your body is not a passive vessel, but a living antenna, absorbing and emitting energy constantly. The food you eat, the movements you make or avoid, even the posture you hold, all transmit vibrational signals. Ancient traditions understood this intuitively. Yoga was not invented for flexibility, but to unlock energy channels. Fasting was not about deprivation, but vibrational clarity. The body is your interface with the material world, and when its frequency drops through toxicity, stagnation, or neglect, the entire system suffers. Beneath these 3 planes hums the foundational truth. Coherence creates elevation. When your thoughts, emotions, and physical state align, when there is no gap between what you believe, what you feel, and how you live, your vibration rises effortlessly. This is why affirmations often fail when spoken without conviction. The universe does not respond to words, but to the totality of your being. Say, "I am abundant," while clinging to scarcity mindset, and the vibration you emit is not abundance, but conflict. True power emerges when every layer of your existence sings the same note. This coherence explains why some individuals seem to walk through life with inexplicable grace. It is not that they avoid challenges, but that their integrated vibration transforms obstacles into opportunities. A coherent high vibration acts like a tuning fork for reality. It does not need to chase miracles, because miracles are drawn to it. The chaotic, scattered energies of modern life constantly test this coherence. The news cycle thrives on fear. Social media feeds on comparison. The workplace often rewards inauthenticity. To maintain high vibration in such an environment is not about withdrawal, but about discernment, knowing what energies to engage with and what to let pass through you like wind through a screen. The ultimate revelation? You are not seeking high vibration, you are remembering it. Beneath the layers of conditioning, beyond the accumulated static of unresolved experiences, your essential self already vibrates at the frequency of pure potential. The journey is not one of acquisition, but of removal, stripping away all that dulls your natural resonance. Imagine a diamond covered in mud. The mud does not change the diamond's nature, only its radiance. Your work is not to become the diamond, but to remove the mud. This understanding changes everything. No longer must you strive and force and grasp for elevation. Instead, you allow releasing the weights that drag you into lower frequencies, making space for your innate brilliance to emerge. The practices that follow are not about adding anything foreign to your being, but about clearing the blockages that prevent your true frequency from shining. Long before laboratories could measure frequencies, the sages and storytellers of old encoded vibrational truths into myths that have outlasted empires. These are not mere fables, but living maps, guides to navigating the unseen currents that shape reality. To understand vibration is to speak the language of symbols, where every archetype, every hero's journey, every fall and redemption whispers secrets about the relationship between energy and form. Consider the Egyptian myth of the phoenix, that radiant bird that cyclically immolates itself only to rise anew from its own ashes. This is not just a pretty metaphor for resilience, it is an exact blueprint for vibrational alchemy. The fire represents the necessary dissolution of old energies, the burning away of thoughts, habits, and attachments that keep us tethered to lower frequencies. The rebirth symbolizes what emerges when we stop resisting this purification, when we allow our consciousness to rise from the ashes of what we once believed ourselves to be. Modern seekers often misunderstand this process, attempting to skip straight to the rebirth without enduring the fire. But the myth reminds us, true elevation requires both the courage to let parts of ourselves die and the faith that what emerges will be closer to our essence. The Hindu tradition offers another master key through the concept of Nada Brahma. The world is sound. Here, creation itself is envisioned as a divine vibration, the sacred syllable Om reverberating through the void to manifest form. This is more than poetic cosmology, it's a practical revelation about the creative power of sustained resonance. Just as a single note held long enough can shatter glass, a consciousness held in steady vibration can reshape reality. The Tantric mystics took this further with the science of mantra, understanding that certain sound frequencies could literally reconfigure energy channels in the body. When you grasp that your entire being from your cells to your soul is essentially a complex waveform, you begin to understand why ancient cultures treated sound as sacred technology. Native American traditions speak of the original instructions, the particular vibration each being is meant to embody. In this view, a tree is not just a tree, but a unique frequency manifest as wood and leaf. A river is not just water, but a specific song flowing over stone. Humans, then, are not generic creatures, but each tasked with remembering and expressing their distinct vibrational signature. When someone falls ill in this paradigm, shamans don't just treat the body they listen for, where the person has stopped singing their true song. Healing comes through realignment with one's essential frequency. This explains why so many feel unmoored in modern life. We've been conditioned to mute our native vibrations in order to fit into societal templates that reward conformity over authenticity. The alchemists of medieval Europe hid vibrational wisdom in their cryptic texts and bizarre illustrations. Their famous pursuit of turning lead into gold was never about metals, it was about transforming the dense, heavy vibration of fear, lead, into the luminous, expansive vibration of enlightenment, gold. Their elaborate diagrams of dragons eating their own tails, of kings and queens dissolving in flasks, were instruction manuals for inner transformation. The solve et coagula principle, dissolve and coagulate, mirrors the phoenix's cycle. One must first break down crystallized patterns of thought and emotion, solve, before reforming them at a higher vibration, coagula. Modern attempts at raising vibration often fail because they try to coagulate without first dissolving to add light, without removing density. Perhaps the most profound symbolic teaching comes from the Buddhist parable of the lute. A disciple asks the Buddha how to find enlightenment, and the Buddha responds by asking if the lute's music comes from its taut strings or its loose ones. The disciple realizes neither. The music emerges from the tension between the two. So it is with vibration. Enlightenment isn't found in extreme positivity or negativity, but in the dynamic balance between all frequencies. This shatters the common misconception that high vibration means perpetual bliss. The universe operates through polarity day and night, expansion and contraction, sound and silence. The master doesn't eliminate the shadows, but learns to dance with them, understanding that contrast creates the necessary tension for growth. These ancient narratives all converge on the same truth. You are a walking symphony of energies, and the quality of your life experience depends on which movements you amplify. The myths aren't just stories, they're tuning forks for the soul. When you engage with them not as relics, but as living vibrations, they begin to work on you at levels deeper than the intellect can reach. They remind us that raising your vibration isn't some new age self-improvement project, it's the recovery of an ancient science, the reactivation of your birthright as a conscious co-creator of reality. The great paradox of spiritual work is this: the most transcendent truths demand the most grounded application. To speak of vibration as an abstract concept is meaningless unless it alters how you move through an ordinary Tuesday, how you respond to a delayed train, a harsh email, a moment of quiet before dawn. The mystics did not preserve these secrets for philosophers to debate, but for human beings to live. Here, we cross the bridge from knowing to being, from theory to the alchemy of daily practice. Begin with the body, your most immediate vibrational instrument. Most approach their physical form as either a machine to be optimized or an obstacle to transcend, missing that it is, in fact, a resonant chamber for consciousness. The way you occupy your body, the tension you hold in your jaw, the shallow breathing of distraction, the slumped posture of defeat, all dampen your native frequency. Simple adjustments accumulate into profound shifts. When you straighten your spine, you are not merely improving posture, but opening energy channels. Conscious breathing becomes not just relaxation technique, but a recalibration of your entire system. The Vedic rishis knew this. When they developed pranayama, they were not playing with oxygen levels, but conducting the cosmic life force itself. Eat not just for nutrition, but vibration. Every substance carries an energetic signature beyond its chemical makeup. Refined sugars and processed foods don't just affect your waistline, they create static in your energy field. Conversely, sunlight on bare skin, immersion in natural waters, the grounding touch of earth, these are not poetic indulgences, but vibrational necessities encoded in your biology. Your environment is not passive backdrop, but active participant in your energetic ecosystem. The spaces you inhabit, the colors, the sounds, the arrangement of objects, all whisper to your nervous system in a language older than words. Consider the Japanese practice of ma, the purposeful use of negative space. In vibration terms, this is not mere aesthetics but physics. Clutter, whether physical, digital, or psychic, creates dissonance by introducing too many competing frequencies. The minimalist knows something the consumer misses. Emptiness is not lack, but potential a blank canvas for higher vibrations to manifest. Digital spaces demand equal discernment. That endless scroll through social media isn't neutral. Each fragment of information carries energy that lingers in your field long after the screen dims. The solution isn't rejection of technology, but intentional engagement, approaching each interaction with the question, does this expand or contract my energy? Relationships serve as your most potent mirrors and amplifiers. Every person you engage with operates at a frequency that either harmonizes or clashes with your own. This isn't about judging others as high or low vibration, such labels miss the point entirely, but about recognizing energetic compatibility. Some connections feel like tuning forks struck in unison, where communication flows effortlessly and presence nourishes. Others resemble dissonant chords, where even brief interaction leaves you fatigued. The spiritually mature avoid both the trap of isolation and the drain of obligatory bonds, instead cultivating what the Sufis call subha sacred companionship, where being together actively elevates all involved. This applies especially to romantic partnerships, which modern culture often frames as mergers of personalities when they are truly convergences of energy fields. The healthiest relationships aren't those without conflict, but those where challenges serve to refine rather than diminish each other's vibration. Work and creativity reveal another dimension of applied vibration. Conventional wisdom separates spiritual practice from professional life, creating a false dichotomy that leaves both impoverished. The artisan crafting pottery, the programmer writing code, the teacher guiding students when performed with full presence, these all become vibrational offerings. The Bhagavad Gita's concept of karma yoga action as worship points to this truth. It's not what you do, but the consciousness you bring to doing that determines its vibrational impact. The mail clerk who radiates kindness elevates every envelope they touch. The CEO, fueled by anxiety, lowers an entire organization's frequency regardless of their six-figure salary. Your vocation, rightly understood, isn't just how you make money, but how you transmit energy into the collective field. Perhaps the most overlooked practical dimension is vibrational hygiene, the maintenance routines of an energy-sensitive being. Just as you shower daily to cleanse the body, certain practices clear accumulated psychic residue. Smudging with sage isn't superstitious ritual but ionic rebalancing. The smoke literally changes the charge of airborne particles. Salt baths do more than relax muscles, they neutralize electromagnetic interference absorbed throughout the day. Even laughter, often dismissed as frivolous, serves as a powerful vibrational reset, literally shaking loose stagnant energy through convulsive breath and sound. These aren't magical fixes, but physics applied with intention. The ultimate test of vibrational mastery comes not in retreats or peak experiences, but in life's friction points when someone cuts you off in traffic, when plans collapse, when betrayal strikes. In these moments, the difference between theoretical understanding and embodied wisdom becomes glaring. The novice reaches for techniques to get back to high vibration. The master recognizes there's nowhere to go, only a choice of how to meet the present. This isn't passive acceptance, but active alchemy, the decision to process anger without becoming it, to feel grief without drowning in it, to acknowledge darkness without feeding it. Every such choice reinforces neural pathways that eventually make elevated response your default rather than your effort. The implications ripple outward in ways both subtle and staggering. As your vibration stabilizes at higher frequencies, you'll notice shifts that defy logical explanation, chance encounters that deliver exactly what you needed, obstacles dissolving before they reach you, creative insights arriving like sudden downpours. These aren't supernatural occurrences, but the natural consequence of coherence. Just as a laser's focused light can cut steel where scattered bulbs cannot, a unified vibration bends reality's fabric in ways fragmented energy cannot. The universe responds not to what you want, but to what you are, and as you become the vibration you wish to attract, the distinction between seeking and finding collapses entirely. You stand now at the threshold between two worlds, the one you were taught to inhabit and the one you are remembering how to create. This is not a journey of accumulation, but of revelation, not about becoming someone new, but about unbecoming everything you are not. The higher vibration you seek is not some distant frequency to attain it, is the unbroken hum at the core of your being, the song your soul never stopped singing beneath the noise of conditioning and forgetting. Consider the metamorphosis of the caterpillar, an organism that literally dissolves into primordial soup within its chrysalis, only to reform as a creature capable of flight. Science still cannot fully explain how the insect's DNA remembers to reform wings from this liquid chaos. Your transformation follows the same mysterious intelligence. All the practices, the awareness, the letting go, these are not creating your wings, but removing what prevents them from unfolding. The struggle you feel is not failure, it is the necessary friction between who you've believed yourself to be and who you actually are. The modern world thrives on your fragmentation, your attention divided, your energy scattered, your vibration diluted. To reclaim your sovereignty is not an act of rebellion, but of remembrance. Every time you choose presence over distraction, coherence over contradiction, authenticity over approval, you are not just improving your day, you are realigning with the cosmic order. The ripple effects extend beyond what you can measure. Just as a single tuning fork can set a room full of forks vibrating at the same frequency, your elevated state subtly influences the entire field of consciousness. This is not egoic inflation, but physics. You are both participant and co-creator in an interconnected energy matrix. There will be days when the old frequencies pull at you like gravitational forces, when frustration seems more familiar than peace, when lack feels more real than abundance. These are not failures, but initiations. The master does not judge the fluctuations, but observes them with compassionate detachment, knowing even the shadows serve the light by providing contrast. Your work is not to eliminate the valleys, but to lessen their depth and duration, to return to center with increasing grace. The invitation now is to move from understanding to embodiment. Let this knowledge settle not just in your mind, but in your cells, in the way you sip your morning tea, in how you meet a stranger's eyes, in the quiet moments before sleep when you commune with your deeper self. Enlightenment is not a fireworks display, it's the subtle but irreversible shift of dawn, gradually illuminating what was always there. If this resonates, if something in you stirs with recognition, then you are already vibrating at a frequency that can sustain this transformation. The next step is yours. Share this message with those ready to hear it, not through preaching, but through the irresistible pull of your own lived example. Comment below with one insight that landed most deeply. The act of articulation strengthens its vibration within you. Subscribe not just for more content, but to join a growing field of conscious creators rewriting reality's code. Most importantly, begin where you are. The cosmic symphony needs your unique note, not the perfect one, not the loudest one, simply the truest one you can offer at this moment. The rest will follow, note by note, until one day you realize you are no longer seeking the music. You have become it.